Hello, Star Wars fans. I'm McBobber, and I'm here back this year with the 2025 Star Wars Unlimited convention exclusive. So I did this last year with the previous year's convention exclusive, and I'm going to do a little unboxing and review here. I'll show off the cards, and I'll do a little mini review of the two new cards from set 6 that are upcoming still. So first, I got to open this bad boy up, which hopefully doesn't take me too long. I do have a little bit of experience from last year's box, at least. Just to talk about the box a bit, this obviously looks like R2-D2. That's because all of the cards in here are droids. And last year the theme was Dark Side guys. This year the theme is droids. Hello? Okay. So this slides out right here. So this retails for about $100 US. Probably with taxes, you might pay a little more than that, depending where you buy it. I paid about 110-ish. I got this at the Galactic Championship. And I did my previous year's review probably about the same time, because it was just after Gen Con. So it's probably been about exactly a year. All right, let's take a look at these bad boys. All right, so I'm just going to show off these cards, and then I'll do a little mini review off with the two new cards, because this, just like previous year's exclusive, this has two cards from set 6. So first off, we got L3 here. So I don't know how well you could see this on camera. These cards are like shiny. They're sort of supposed to look like data chips, I think. It's pretty cool. The layout of these cards is super different too from a regular card. Like, having the name in the bottom left is an interesting decision, but it gives you more room for like the layout. There's little text written in Arkbesh there, which is the Star Wars language. And they look pretty cool. They're quite shiny. I like it. All right, next we got Chopper. That's the Chopper we got from the set 4, I believe. Yeah, the pilot Chopper. Not Chopper, BB-8, that's his name. Chopper's in here too. I really like BB-8. He looks cool. The red shiny, like data chip effect. Awesome. Sorry if the camera struggles to focus and isn't the clearest, but what I got. Yeah, R2-D2. I really like how these are all like so colorful. The blue really pops. That looks awesome. I could see why, obviously, R2 is the most popular droid in Star Wars, but a good showcase card here too, because he's very shiny. Got BD1, who just came out in set 5. Also red, just like BB-8. They can't all be different, and of course C-3PO's got to be yellow. Of course he does. He's always gold. Interesting that his lower leg is silver. So I think this is, what is that? That's episode 2 C-3PO. I think that's where he looked like that. Which fits, because he does have the Republic trait instead of Rebel. And lastly, we got Chopper, who's sort of a silver. Pretty cool. All right, so let's have a little talk about C-3PO and Chopper, since these are our two new cards. So I'll try to hold this up, and then I don't know how well I can hold this up while also talking about the card, but I'm going to give it a try. All right, so this is C-3PO, Anything I Might Do. He's 1 cost, Command Heroism, 1 attack, 3 health, and action, exhausts, and return this unit to its owner's hand to give a unit +2/+2 for this phase. So this isn't a hard card to review, really. No new mechanics here. C-3PO is extremely similar to the previous Salacious Crumb unit. Just instead of damaging and healing, he's buffing your unit. Pretty easy filler card to play. If there's some trait synergy he's contributing to with Republic or Droid, that'll probably help too. And then lastly, we got Chopper here. See if I can get this to focus on him. Yeah, that's fairly readable. All right, so this is Chopper, War Hero. Though maybe for this little guy, that should be War Criminal, but hey, maybe that's a future Chopper. Anyway, he's 2 cost, 4 attack, 1 health, and when this unit deals combat damage to a base, each player discards a card from their hand. Alright, so Chopper is pure aggro. 4 attack on a 2-drop is a lot, but he's really squishy with that 1 health. You know, if he hits a base, he discards cards. That's pretty cool too, which is, again, probably another aggro effect to take away options from the opponent. Unfortunately, he's hitting one of your own cards as well, which is, I think, a significant drawback there, but it probably makes him pretty niche on the surface, I think. You gotta have a meta without a ton of 1 damage pings, which we're currently very much in as of set 5. And you probably need to be okay with losing cards too. I'd probably say I'm not super impressed with Chopper on the surface, but there's plenty of room for synergy. He's got, you know, that Spectre trait, which often brings with it something fancy, but we'll have to see what happens with that little guy. But overall, that's the set. They look awesome. If you can manage to get these, it seems a little easier than the 2024 convention exclusive as far as I can tell, but maybe not quite as much demand either. I've been looking at the secondary market a bit. These aren't selling quite as high as the previous years did, but that might speak to their availability and it might just be easier to get, so maybe you can pick up one of these and it won't be so painful. But at any rate, that's all I've got for you here. Thanks for watching, folks. Hope you enjoyed this, and maybe I'll see you next year for the next convention exclusive.